Does your office need an update? Shop Office Furniture World, where you'll find one of the largest selections of quality new and pre-owned office furniture in the area. We carry a large selection of cubicles, metal desks, file cabinets, bookcases, everything you need for starting a new business or updating one. From the reception area to the boardroom, Office Furniture World can enhance the look of your office at a fraction of the cost. Visit Office Furniture World on Coursey Boulevard today.
It's time to move up to the luxury of Long Ridge, a gated luxury community featuring beautiful landscaped grounds, pool, executive business center, and state-of-the-art fitness center. Each unit features 9-foot ceilings, ceiling fans, kitchen with microwave, utility room with washer and dryer, a garden tub in the back, walk-in closets, and a private patio or balcony for entertaining your guests. Explore living beyond the ordinary. Come home to Long Ridge Luxury Apartments, just off Sherwood across from Piccadilly.
It's now time for the Key Point Key Recruit of the Week.
This is our Recruit of the Week, Tyler Listy from St. Thomas More in Lafayette. He is a kicker, if you see him there. He's a kicker, a punter, and an A-plus kickoff guy. He can kick 50 yards consistently. He can punt 45 yards consistently. Look at this kick here. But this is the way it looks all year long. You know, yeah, he kicks with a lot of distance.
With room to spare.
This kid is 5'9", 175. Eddie Murray was basically like that at Tulane for 16 years with the Lions. Yep. This is a kickoff. Watch this kid from Zachary back up, 9 yards. I mean, watch this again. This is a kickoff. That's important, right, Ro?
Yes,
you got to be able to hit the end zone.
Exactly.
He's 7 yards back behind a goalpost. So,
wow.
Tyler Listy being recruited by some schools, should be offered by many. Great kicker, great punter. It's hard to find a kicker punter that can do well doing it. This is St. Paul's.
Don't have many combinations.
Good punt, 60-yard punt.
When St. Paul's went to St. Thomas More and beat them, that game,
This is a 60-yard in the air.
Wow.
There's another long punt. You see, it's not the roll. It's mostly in the air. I mean, this guy right there on the 3-yard line. So that's Tyler Listy, St. Thomas More. That's him aiming where he's going to put the ball. Yeah. You don't see a lot of that in high school.
Right. You don't see a lot of that in college or the pros.
No. But great kid, does a great job. Will be a D1 kicker. Colt David at LSU, who's a senior. People go, well, he's from Grapevine, Texas. They must have signed him. He walked on. He's the all-time leading scorer in LSU history, and even has a touchdown as a kicker.
There's no respect for kickers. No one has respect.
So we gave respect tonight. We got a caller on line 1. Joe, do you have a question for us? Joe? Yeah, go ahead.
I heard your piece on the kicker over there, that boy in Lafayette. It seems like it's been long time where we had good kickers coming out of the Baton Rouge area. Do you see any young kickers coming up now that you think have a lot of potential in the future kicking?
Yeah, we had trouble hearing him, but I think I got the question.
Yeah.
The top, maybe turn, we're trying to hear. You might want to speak a little bit louder, but.
Okay. Do you know of any good young kickers?
Yeah, Ryan Joffrin from Redemptress is a real good kicker locally, who we've had on the show and also promoted on the show with Kyle Hall, who's a punter, which is a great combination to have an all-state kicker and an all-state punter on the same team.
Right.
But Ryan Joffrin is a great, consistent kicker. Like Colt David, the kid we showed tonight is a great punter and kicker. So Tyler might end up being a punter, where Joffrin is especially kicker and very consistent as well. And you got Ryan Rome from Destrehan, who's committed to Tulane, who's a good kicker and a punter. But I think Joffrin might be the most consistent kicker, but he doesn't punt. And the key is the kickoffs. Yeah. But Colt David doesn't kick off.
Yeah. Whenever I talk about kickers, it's, Bear Bryant one time told me, talking to him, we were talking about kickers before one of the Sugar Bowls. We were all interviewing him. I asked him something about his kicking game. And he said the most profound thing I think I've ever heard. He said, The first thing I do is find a punter and a kicker. If that wasn't important, they'd call it arm ball. That made sense to me.
I remember a guy, you remember this punter, and I know you do, Russell Erxleben from UT, Texas Long, first-round pick.
Yes.
He was the only punter to hit the top of the dome.
Yeah.
And then they cut him.
He didn't do much more, though.
But
see, he was a combination punter-kicker.
Right.
You know,
who
really didn't pan out.
Didn't pan out.
He really didn't pan out.
First round, you don't ever hear that at all.
I think he was like the 13th player.
But who wins games?
Yeah, you know, I mean, kicking
Field
is
position,
important. It's
punting,
important.
kicking.
A lot of good teams have lost games because of their kicking game.
In high school.
Yeah.
If you don't have a punter in high school, you're giving up half the field right off the bat, and you got to have a good kicker.
You don't have somebody who can deep snap. You know,
right. There's also Denham Springs has a good kicker too. We had on the show whose dad, Ronnie Lewis, played at LSU. He can kick them 60 yards, so he's a good kicker too.
Ronnie Lewis. I think he went to Abramson in New Orleans as a running back. Ronnie Lewis
his son's a pretty good kicker at Denham. We're going to go back to the phone lines. Leo, we have Leo on line 2. Do you have a question?
Yes, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's interesting that you're looking at a kicker from the Lafayette area because I'm calling from Lafayette. And to be honest with you, we finna start something over here in Lafayette about Les Miles recruiting people from this area and not playing them. He got running backs here from Lafayette, and about 2 of the games, if he wouldn't have played the running back, Keelan Williams, he'd have lost them games. You just talked about a high school that won the state championship last year, that beat a team from Lafayette or Louisiana. He got that quarterback sitting on the bench. The quarterbacks.
You're talking about Jordan Jefferson.
Excuse me?
Jordan Jefferson from Destrehan?
Yes, he got him sitting on the bench. We went through that with Purdy. I called your station last year, 2 games after that. Purdy, he only played 2 games. He threw for 401 game and 500 other game.
Yeah, well, we don't make the decisions at LSU and who plays quarterback.
That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. The people in Lafayette is starting to look at Les Miles like, why should the people from Lafayette go there? We got somebody else. Somewhere else we could go. We could go by Nick Saban. He's going to play us.
Well, I mean, obviously that's how you feel. And when you yeah. Well, the big thing about college football, Ro, and you know this, you can't win a national championship every year.
No.
You can't win every game every year.
No.
Coach Payton from the Saints, they're about to crown him governor when he almost took them to the Super Bowl. The Bears beat him. They go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Now, he's not the favorite anymore.
Yeah. Well,
you can't win. You can't go to the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl every year.
Yeah. You know, LSU. I believe in Louisiana football players. You know, I mean, I'm proud of the fact that there are only a few states where you can win a national championship in college football with players from that one state. Well, most of your players from there. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Texas, Florida, California. All huge states.
They don't have to go to state.
The smallest one where you can do that, I think, is Louisiana.
Right, with skill players.
This is the smallest population where you can do that is Louisiana.
And
but I mean, I think last year that Les Miles, I mean, I think there was a lot of luck involved. There's a lot of good fortune. I mean, that pass in the end zone Saturday, last year that was the pass against Auburn.
And it's caught, right. But he caught it last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a pass that everybody's saying they shouldn't have thrown, but it was a touchdown.
Right.
This year, it's an
What
interception.
do they call it? The ball either bounces your way one year or it doesn't
I think they had
a
lot of that. A lot of that last year.
Right, we're going to be back with one more segment.
Okay.
We're going to take a break. We'll talk more about college football. You promote the Sun Belt with the station back in New Orleans producing. Yeah. We'll talk about ULL, some of the other teams, and we'll be back in just a moment. We got to talk about the Saints lost one of their former players, too. One of the original players, their first starting center with the New Orleans Saints passed away recently. Roy, we'll let you talk about that. We'll be back in just a moment.